Welcome back to the fourth and final round of Wednesday Night Standard here at GameSwap in beautiful Mason, Ohio. On the left we have Michael Riccella playing Blue-Red Emerge. And on the right we have Cole Pownell playing Green-White Midrange. Not mid-range, Midrange.
A little bit of Stonehenge, a little bit of mid-range.
Yeah,
Same difference.
So in our efforts to make things interesting and not just have it be mono Marvel matches and alliteration all night long, we decided to bring you another match of two interesting kind of off the beaten path decks.
Right.
Blue-Red Emerge was a player at some point in this standard format, but it's kind of fallen by the wayside.
I think it was one of those like very early turn, like week one decks, and it just never really. The fine tuning of the deck didn't really make it any better, and so as other decks got kind of more honed, it just kind of fell by the wayside.
Right. But I mean, to be fair, it does have some powerful plays. It is capable of doing some powerful things, specifically casting Elder Deep Fiends, chaining them even.
Yeah, with the is that Ugin Sanctum that chains them?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I honestly haven't seen it since I know it had some like it showed up on some of the streams for Star City and stuff like that. I don't know if it ever actually made a top 8 or anything like that, but playing in the team event with fellow commentators John Douglas and Taylor Gunn. Taylor was on Mardu vehicles and just ran over every Blue-Red Emerge deck that we saw.
I see what you did there. Vehicles running over things.
Yes.
Hardy
yes.
har.
Yes.
You stick to the play-by-play, I'll make the funnies.
Oh, man. Put in my place. There's a Wandering Fumarole and a Canopy Vista. So, maybe Mardu Vehicles just ran Blue-Red Emerge out of the format. Oh, and Riccella missed his second land drop.
He did keep a one-lander. Mulled to 6, decided to keep the one-lander on the play instead of going down to 5. And we'll see what happens. He should have some action. I see a cathartic reunion there. If we do hit that second land, we'll get going. And he's not under a terrible amount of pressure here. That Oath of Nissa does not attack or block.
Well, we drew the third cathartic reunion.
Well,
so once we hit it, we can just discard all the cathartic reunions to each other.
Yeah, that's a thing, sure, yeah.
I don't know what other cards he has in his hand, but
it would be a very cathartic reunion.
Okay, so an Oath of Gideon.
Oath of Gideon.
Going to make 2 core allies, and Planeswalkers are going to come in with an additional loyalty counter, so they're going to be sticky. And we don't have core allies, apparently. Can we at least get matching tokens?
Well, they're 1/1s. So notably, an enchantment that attacks by proxy.
An enchantment that attacks by proxy.
Yeah.
Oh, Rutrow. And that is the third draw for Riccella and
Still
the third
missing those
missed
land
land.
drops.
The third land drop he missed.
Discards Amalgam to hand size, so not super terrible at this
The
point.
game plan. It was it's how we drew it up, honestly.
Yeah. He's actually playing Oops All Spells and just so happened to hit his one land here.
Yeah.
Actively wants to discard to hand size.
I have no idea what that card is. I was going to try.
It's a rare.
Is it?
It's a rare. Well, it's got the hologram, so it's at least a rare. It might be a mythic.
Okay.
It costs green and white mana to put it into play.
Presumably.
And it does things.
Never seen that card before. That feels so awful. All right. Oh, Riccella drew the second land in his tapped land. That is, I would say it's justice, but Ricella's not really an awful human being, so he's generally
and still not under an awful amount of pressure either.
Who knows what that green-white card could be?
Well, it's going to be dead, is what it's going to be.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Spares us from having to find out what it actually was.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Saved by the lightning axe.
Saved, yeah.
Discarding a tormented voice to that.
And, okay, so Gideon ally of standard format.
Comes in with 5 loyalty counters given the oath. Not a scumbag. And he's now Ricella's in trouble because there's not
Right.
very many good answers for Gideon,
Well,
let alone
any blue-red deck, be it Emerge or Control or Spirits and Goblins, that sort of thing, in this standard format is probably going to be in trouble whenever Gideon resolves.
Yeah, Riccella needs to be ahead of the curve on Gideon and just hope to be able to wrestle with him with a Deep Fiend. But alas, Ricella's just discarding Stitchwing Scabs to Cathartic Reunion, kind of a good turn 2 play. A really bad turn 6 play if we don't have anything else going on.
Yeah, this one quickly slipping away from him.
All right,
for
let's
sure.
just
Selfless Spirit. It's going to make those tokens indestructible if needed. Of course.
It's not going to be needed.
Yeah, definitely a deficit of blockers on the opposing side of the table.
Yeah. So let's
swings in for 34.
Yep.
Or something like that. Not a mana producing card.
So it doesn't produce a land. It's not a land. It's not going to be Sweltering Suns. We're good to go here.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next one.
So I imagine Ricella's going to want to bring in some Sweltering Suns.
I imagine he's going to want to shuffle. Because that was a high concentration of Tormenting Voices and Cathartic Reunions.
Yeah.
It would remind me of someone that had their deck broken down for the purposes of registering it on a deck list, and then shuffled precisely one time.
So that post deck check, whenever you get the deck all comes back all sorted.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, now I've been playing Magic for a long time. Okay, and I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I have had the good fortune of participating in a number of top 8s in events. And that's more a function of the fact that I've been playing for a long time and not necessarily my prowess at Magic the Gathering.
Sure, yeah, whatever.
And so, you do have to break your deck down to help the judges do the deck check before the top 8.
Oftentimes.
And one thing that I've noticed over the years is that I don't think that players shuffle enough before their quarterfinal matches. And honestly, I have to say that I personally have benefited from that in seeing my opponents, particularly in Game 1, draw clumps.
Yeah. I'm definitely one of those persons. If you get deck checked, if I'm in a top 8 and we do choose to sort decks, I will sit there and shuffle
for a long time. Wait
for my opponent to stop shuffling, continue shuffling, and if you wait long enough, they'll start shuffling again too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather win actual games of Magic the Gathering instead of my opponent drawing too many or not enough lands. Yeah. That said, if we're talking quarterfinals of a top 8, I'll take them however I can get them. So take my advice. You make a top 8, or you have occasion to have your deck broken down. Shuffle and then shuffle, and then shuffle, and then shuffle a lot after that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Break up those clumps.
So
Riccella hopeful that he actually gets to execute his game plan in this game.
So Riccella might be a little bit greedy. He wants to be playing some lands in this game too, and casting spells. And wow,
patently ridiculous.
So here we go for game 2, and hopefully Cole sticks to playing cards that I know what they do.
So Oath of Nissa and
Nissas, and Gideons.
Right. Yeah.
That's the wheelhouse I got.
Ally of standard format.
Yes.
So I see
4 lands, Tormenting Voice.
I saw a Fevered Visions in there, I think.
Ooh, that's probably. I don't know if that's even good.
I don't know.
So we have an untapped Fortified Village into the turn 1 Oath of Nissa.
I mean, Cole's deck is labeled Midrange, which would lead me to believe that he's not casting multiple spells per turn, so the Fevered Visions could overload him and do its deed, particularly with Cole in the draw here.
Perhaps. The moment in which you just get all of the spells out of your hand, though, and
right, and
Fevered Visions becomes kind of a Phyrexian arena with no drawback.
Agreed. And I was under the assumption that that card came out of the sideboard only for control matchups.
Yeah, but Riccella might just have it main deck and just opted not to take it out.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not sure.
The versions that I've seen of Blue Red emerge more recently have the visions in the sideboard.
Sure, okay.
There was definitely a time where this Blue Red deck was playing the main, but I think that was in the previous format with Thermo Alchemist and that whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, sure. And Blue-Red control just struggles with that in a way that... Oh, see, a Sylvan Advocate. I know what this card is.
Okay.
Yeah. We have no man lands, but we have a 4/5.
Lucky you.
Eventually. So Ricella's going to draw on his end step for this Fevered Visions.
Yeah, importantly replaces itself for the player that plays it.
And which Howling Mine doesn't. So
well, yeah, it helps your opponent first.
So we're going to see presumably this Oath of Gideon into the Nissa rather than the other way around, just so that you get that extra loyalty on the Nissa.
You know, so I feel like that assembling all 5 oaths, should be some sort of crazy alternate win condition. A long time ago, there was this collectible card game called Legend of the Five Rings, and if at any point you had all 5 of the elemental rings in play, you automatically won the game.
Yeah, it's called a Coalition Victory, right?
Not legal and standard. These oaths are. They're like the Power Rangers, or Voltron with our powers combined.
Yeah, I think they're actually the Power Ranger colors, I believe.
They are, yeah. Well, there's no pink.
Lily can be purple.
Yes, again, not pink.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
I guess I do need a Black Ranger still. Damn. Not quite the Power Rangers.
No. And I have a feeling that if you suggested to Chandra that she be the Pink Ranger, you would find yourself without any eyebrows.
She's the Red Power Ranger, obviously.
Right. At least without any eyebrows.
Okay.
Probably without some hair.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Gideon's the one that's fallen short. Oh, there is a White Power Ranger. Okay. We got this. We got 5 Power Rangers.
Okay.
Just 2 Tommies.
Don't start with your propaganda here, sir.
No, 2 Tommies, the green and the white.
Oh, Tommies. I thought you said commies.
No, Tommies.
See, I didn't watch the Power Rangers. That was after my time.
Well, the green and the white Power Rangers were... But Tommy was both of them at different time periods. And so I'm curious... We're goofing here, and I missed the timing of this Fevered Visions. See...
It looks like he ran it out on his main phase because he subsequently followed up with an attack.
You know what?
So
yep.
I feel like that I would do that.
Trigger on the stack in my end step.
Right.
Let's cast this out. Right. I'll draw my card.
Exactly.
You can have your turn, sir.
Right.
But a weird timing. Not often are there abilities in the end step, nor are there often banishing lights that have flash. So.
Right.
Caught this kind of corner case.
So importantly, Riccella gets one of his returning creatures into his graveyard with that Cathartic Reunion, and also has at least 1 prized amalgam in there. So we're going to see him. Don't call it a comeback. They haven't been here for years, but that's a really old reference.
I got you. I'm going to try to ignore it because I'm just fingers crossed that Ricella's deck's going to do
Kyle,
something.
Mama said knock you out.
Wow. I didn't do anything to deserve this. Man. Hating. I won't tell you about my afternoon of delving into the Marcy Playground Spotify radio station.
That just sounds miserable.
But that's how I spent my afternoon. Damn it, this card again comes back, and I don't know what it does.
Again, with the Martin Muller stream moments.
That's not even. That doesn't even make it PG-13. We can still be PG with.
I mean, I'm not going to have kittens. The face that he makes, though, when Mueller drops that F-bomb on WotC's stream.
BDM's face is now a great meme.
Priceless. And here they come.
Okay, so discarding 2 cards.
Clowns.
Oh wait, that's not a stage swing scab. Which scab is that?
No, that's the 3-1.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I think no. It's the other one. It's the bigger one. The 3/4 that costs 3 to bring back instead of 2.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
5 to cast, I think it is.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're not bringing back, all of the prized amalgams. Certainly not the level of power that we'd see with like modern dredge, but still, a decent amount of value.
With a different kind of draw, we definitely could have seen just 3 amalgams come back. Like,
well, the thing to bear in mind as well is that both the Scob and the prized amalgam are what was discarded with the Cathartic Reunion. So we're just, it's card selection at this point. We're churning and producing threats simultaneously. Yeah. And Riccella with at least 2 Elder Deep Fiends in his hand as well. So we're gonna start to see some of the shenanigans.
So we saw a Tormenting Voice discard a Fiery Temper, which shot down the Sylvan Advocate.
Even better.
Before it became a 4/5. Yeah. So good timing on that finally.
Yep, Emerge is definitely getting to play its game at this point.
Yeah. So we're going to see an upkeep. Riccella with his finger up noting, I have effects. Elder Deep Fiend.
Only costing 2 blue mana.
Off of the Emerge.
Yeah, the Emerge, yeah. So that was the 5-drop blue guy that we saw there.
It looks almost as if Cole has a Westvale Abbey that he didn't flip back over.
It's a good thing that we are at friendly rules enforcement.
Well,
here.
hopefully his sleeves are opaque, so it wouldn't really
Doesn't matter. Does not matter if you present a flipped card at competitive REL. It's bad. It's bad.
Really?
Yeah, bad things happen. Yes.
I never play with flip cards to know this, but that is an interesting.
So as a fan of Delver of Secrets, that's definitely something I know, for sure.
So Cole decked the Elder Deep Fiend, leaving Riccella with a clue. The Ugin Sanctum's a turn too late to start chaining these Elder Deep Fiends. The Ugin Sanctum would have allowed Riccella to grab an Elder Deep Fiend when he from his deck once he casts the first Elder Deep Fiend.
Well, he's got another one in his hand.
Oh,
that Scob is probably going to come back.
Sure.
Right?
Okay, let's do it.
And then we're going to cast another Deep Fiend in the upkeep.
Do we want to be sacking the Amalgam just to bring the Amalgam back off the Scob?
Wait, there's another mode on Prized Amalgam. The only thing that I know is that it comes back from the graveyard and kills me.
Yeah. I'm just thinking we could sack the Amalgam to the Elder Deep Fiend, just because he's going to come back.
Oh, to the Deep Fiend, right.
Yeah.
I thought you were implying that it had an ability to sacrifice itself. I wouldn't know that.
No, yeah, it comes back. That's all it does.
Yeah, all I know is that I see Bloodgas and Narcomoebas, and then Prized Amalgams follow shortly thereafter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get this Deep Fiend.
Yep. And are we...
We're gonna sack this Ugin Sanctum. We might be a little bit sloppy in our timing, but...
Here we go. So, spoiler alert, there's probably going to be another Elder Deep Fiend on the top of his deck.
Yeah. Or in his hand now.
No, it goes on top. Doesn't it?
Sanctum goes in your hand.
Yeah, like I said, it goes in your hand. Looks... No, he's placing it on...
Oh, really?
Top of his deck.
Okay. That's fine. I just might not know how these cards work.
Yeah, usually at that point in Modern, because you are a Jund midrange player, by the time that
the Tron deck
is in any neighborhood near activating their Sanctum of Ugin, you're probably packing them up.
Yeah, I pack them up pretty aggressively against Tron, you know?
Yeah.
Just, we got better things to do with our lives. This Nissa seems...
I mean, it's going to produce a blocker for the Deep Fiend, right?
Sure, unless he draws another... Well...
Yeah, I feel like that, at some point, Riccella's going to have trouble getting through with these Eldrazi Octopi.
Yeah, they only tap down when they come into play.
Right. So
and
I think the premium is on the flyers here.
Yeah. Riccella might be misevaluating his kind of game plan in terms of thinking, I just need to jam Deep Fiends.
Well, I've known Riccella for a while now.
Yeah.
He is a man that finds pleasure in doing things in Magic that are not directly correlated with winning, and I don't mean that in a negative way. He enjoys the game, by casting giant Eldrazi Octopi and that sort of thing, and the winning is kind of subsequent to.
Okay, so he's going to enjoy this game regardless of whether win or lose, because he gets to just jam 5/6s on his opponent and flash.
And like I said, I do not mean that in a negative way.
No, by all means, that is a completely fair thing to want to be doing, and so, I think that, like, personally, I guess the strategy for me right now would be trying to get the scabs on the board, so that when you do start casting these Deep Fiends and tapping down Cole's side of the board, you're going to get in damage. Because right now, just eat an 0-1 with his 5/6.
Right. He's attacking the Nissa.
Oh. What?
Wait, does the Deep Fiend have some kind of special ability that it can't be blocked by plant tokens?
Does it have flying?
It does absolutely not. It has flash.
Okay, so it has flash. Cole is over Planeswalkers. He thinks they're problematic. Oh, we have a handful of Nissas. We can get an 0-1 every turn.
I think a Planeswalker on the board is worth a whole lot more than an 0-1 plant.
That's why you're in the back room commentating, and Cole's out there on the stream,
Obviously.
Sitting at X1.
Yeah, you know what my record is tonight?
XO.
X.
XO.
Yeah, no, OX. Infinite losses.
So
largely because I have to spend it with you.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
This isn't nice. I'm over here, like, taking this abuse. Like, we're getting some unclear board states.
Yeah. There's... I think there's a question, maybe... I don't know.
Okay, so tapping 5 mana at 2. Oh.
We're making the Ormondal.
Oh, that's why we didn't block. It's because we were going all in on Ormondal against the deck that can tap my creatures.
Cole clearly knows what he's doing far better than we do.
Yeah,
I think he's going to have a surprise here, though. It's going to be another Eldrazi Octopus. Yeah, see, Riccella calls his Elder Deep Fiends Elder Deep Frieds. Like that speaks to exactly what I was talking about earlier. He derives pleasure from Magic in different ways
than us.
Right, and the winning is subsequent to him having his fun.
Okay. Okay. So in step, we're going to draw off this Fevered Visions. 3 in hand. We're not bringing back the Scab because we think we have action in our hand. Oh. Riccella just showing the camera, hey, I drew the Kozilek's Return a turn too late. Okay. Just discard that Kozilek's Return. Let's draw 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's far better in the yard at this point. Still not going to do anything about that Ormondal, though.
Yeah,
have a feeling Ormondal is going to be a problem.
Yeah, because you can't really race Ormondal because it has lifelink. So you got to go real wide.
And it's indestructible.
It's indestructible, yeah. So you're gonna. He's gonna stay on the board against his blue-red deck.
So the only way to deal with this Ormondal in the blue-red colors would be with something like Gale Strike.
That would bounce it.
Mm-hmm.
Gale Strike would bounce it, and then it would come back as a land. That seems, yeah, any kind of bounce spell would be fine, honestly.
Sure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking Burn from Within, and...
Yeah, you just said words that make absolutely no sense to me.
It's a fireball that exiles creatures.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not good.
I mean, doesn't it have to destroy it before it exiles it?
If the damage would have destroyed it, then you exile it instead.
Right, so that's a replacement effect after the creature is destroyed, which it has indestructible, so it wouldn't be destroyed in the first place, right?
Burn from Within Burn from Within exiles indestructible creatures. I don't know how it's worded. We can't.
All right.
Oh. So.
And it looks like Ormondal, Profane Prince, takes the game.
Got Profane on Riccella.
No.
Oh. Do we actually have enough on the board to tap him out and then swing? Oh! He just never got to attack with the Ormondal.
Oh, there was another octopus.
There was another octopus.
Yeah.
Once we started chaining them, you know.
Yeah, that's really the end game of this emergence.
A little bit of confusion on our behalf. Apologize for that.
You were the confused one.
Oh, my bad.
I'm just here to make the funnies. You're supposed to follow the play-by-play.
My bad.
And I do a really poor job of it, by the way, so, the standard's not very high.
I do a really poor job, apparently, keeping up with the board state, you know?
I distract you.
Yeah.
That's my job.
So, one way of dealing with an Ormondal, if you can't bounce it and you can't exile it,
just tap it.
Tap it down for 3 turns in a row.
And then tap it again, and then tap it a third time, and there you go.
And meanwhile, be swinging in. I guess I didn't realize that Cole's life had gone down so low, but Riccella had gotten in some swings with...
Yeah, we were chipping away there.
The scabs and the prized amalgam.
For sure. Cole, I think at this point, wondering if Riccella is calling them deep frieds on purpose or if he genuinely thinks that's what they're called. I could tell by the look on Cole's face.
Like, who is this man that I'm playing? He thinks his cards are deep fried.
Deep fried. And they're elder, so they're very old.
The oldest.
The old deep fried octopus.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that fried calamari is a thing that most people enjoy, or have even tried. Maybe.
No, I mean,
is that a thing?
No, when octopus generally is sautéed.
Is a
calamari is squid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes bad jokes and gets real picky on our mollusks.
Yeah. Also, squid is not an octopus, so get it right.
I'm done over here. I'm done. Packing up for the night. So we got a note to Nissa on turn 1, and Cole grabbed the Gideon ally of Zendikar, Riccella with the Fumarole, and here comes the Sylvan Advocate on turn 2. Sylvan Advocate used to be so threatening on turn 2.
Yep.
And not anymore.
Format was a lot slower then.
Gosh.
A whole lot slower.
Yeah.
That was back in Collected Company days.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Where you could just randomly find a 4/5 off of, factor creature.
Well, even before then, there was the Abzan aggro decks that ran him, and he was great. Albeit a bit of an ombo with Anafenza, the foremost.
All right, so looks like the Sweltering Sun? No, that's a Fiery Temper.
Oh, that's a Fiery Temper.
Yeah. Does not have the second source of red to shoot that Fiery Temper off of this the Cathartic Reunion in his hand.
So we're going to get another Fevered Visions, and honestly,
I think that's doing nothing but helping Cole, to be honest.
I think it actually is necessary for Ricella's deck to function in terms of keeping his hand full. His deck has a lot of dead. His deck has a lot of dead cards.
A lot of air.
A lot of air.
Yeah, definitely looking to pitch specific cards to the Cathartic Reunions and Tormenting Voices, and not just random cards to it. So the Fevered Visions does help that. But, at this point...
Yeah. And so he might actually miss this. Okay. So the hidden mode on Oath of Gideon is Gideon can come into play and make an emblem without dying.
Mm-hmm.
And Riccella was able to redirect the damage from Fevered Visions to the Gideon. So not sure if Cole saw that or realized
regardless, that emblem is going to keep this Sylvan Advocate out of Fiery Temper range.
Sure, yeah. And so now Riccella does have the mana for Fiery Temper, but I don't know. Gideon would have turned that corner real quick. Going up.
Sure.
Or 0 and then going up.
Yeah, but next turn, unless... Oh, sorry about that. Unless Riccella is... Okay, so he's got something for the tokens, but that Advocate's still a 3/4 at this point. Soon to be a 5/6 in a couple of turns. And that Fevered Visions is only helping Cole find the 5th and 6th lands.
Definitely. So, Cole drawing a land, playing a different land, though. And with 5 mana, he swings for 3 with the Sylvan Advocate. And let's see what kind of action he has. Looks like a Selfless Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
A turn too late with
Looks
that
like
Kozilek's Return.
another Oath of Gideon if he so desires.
I
think he pulled the trigger.
I see no. I see no
Especially
reason.
with a Selfless Spirit?
Yeah, definitely the
him?
Selfless Spirit in order to protect your creatures. And it would have actually got him out of the Fevered Visions range, which I think is pretty negligible at this point, but...
Looks like he picked up a Stasis Snare off that Fevered Visions draw.
And that's not a bad card to have when you have 3 mana open, but...
Well, particularly when your opponent is relying on,
singular threats.
Yeah, exactly. Like Deep Fried Octopus.
And honestly, if Ricella's planning on emerging off of a single Scob or Amalgam, exiling it before he gets a chance to untap might be a legitimate way of just keeping him off the Elder Deep Fried.
Sure, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Cole has to be precise with his timing in that regard.
Yeah. But it's definitely a way of taking Riccella off his plan.
Absolutely.
So
and, importantly, it exiles, so something like Prized Amalgam.
Yeah, and coming back for funds.
Right.
Second helpings.
Yeah.
And we do see Riccella discarding the Big Scab and a Prized Amalgam.
Mm-hmm. And so likely what we're going to see here is Ricella's going to pass. Cole's going to go ahead with his turn, keeping that Stasis Snare up. And Riccella is going to attempt to... he'll bring back one of the Scobs. The Prized Amalgam will come back. And before he gets to untap, one of those things is going to get Stasis Snared.
Definitely.
And bonus...
I don't think you Stasis Snare. If he brings back 2 things, you don't Stasis Snare because your Stasis Snare is better off hitting the...
Disagree.
Really? Okay, well...
So, Stasis Snaring...
Stasis Snaring the Deep Fiend's probably better because you might just be able to tangle with the 3/3s.
Okay, that's fair.
So we see a discard to the Stitchwing Scab, turning on the Madness for Fiery Temper.
So, Cole choosing not to play his 6th land before combat here?
Missing out on 2 points of damage.
Missing a couple points of damage, yeah.
People haven't played with Sylvan Advocate in a while, so you sometimes forget. Riccella scooting his prized amalgam over. Just remember that trigger.
Yeah, and I mean, it's easy for me to sit back here and see that. I'm not playing the game. I don't have the multiple things on my mind. That these guys playing the games have.
Yeah. So during the upkeep, we're going to see a stasis snare on the prized amalgam.
I think Riccella's fine with that.
Yeah, I'm not. It's fine. He has a declaration in stone as well in hand, so he's got the removal for whatever Riccella wants to bring out.
Notably, does have another Scob in his graveyard. I don't think it's the same.
It's not the same one. It's
Right.
definitely the bigger one.
Yeah.
So how is Riccella going to line up this turn?
He's got that Sanctum of Ugin just waiting.
Just waiting to get
that
cracked.
Yeah, just waiting for that first deep-fried octopus to show up.
Show up to the party, one might say. And so, I'm curious what... It almost seems as if the flying 3/1s is kind of derailing Cole's plan of jamming Planeswalkers.
Sure.
Yeah. Because I think he has a Gideon in hand. And... maybe his mana didn't line up last turn. My mistake.
Well, he was definitely in on playing that stasis snare.
So we have some effects in upkeep.
And the first deep-fried octopus rears its tentacles.
Yeah. So for precision's sake, you're going to put the Deep Free trigger on the stack and the Ugin Sanctum trigger on the stack, but I guess it targets, doesn't it, when it goes on the stack?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
I bet Cole is missing that stasis snare right now.
Yeah, well, you were trying to tell me that he was priced into snapping it off on one of the threats, and he had two.
That was somebody else that was saying those things.
Okay, yeah.
Probably just a random passerby.
Yeah, I think the stasis snare had to hit the Elder Deep Fiend, and you just have to block.
Yeah, and whoever suggested otherwise earlier in the stream, like I said, random passerby. I was assaulted by a man that came in here, grabbed the headset, claimed that the stasis snare was better suited for a threat other than
it's fine. It's fine. You don't have to apologize because
no, I don't, because that wasn't me.
Riccella just rearranged what he wanted to tap, and he's going to leave Cole with 2 mana for the declaration in stone.
Okay. Well, he didn't have a choice. No matter what he taps, Cole still has the 2 mana for the deck in stone.
Oh, is that true? Okay.
Yeah, he's got 6 lands in play.
I don't know how many the things the Deep Fiend taps down, honestly.
4. It has 4 tentacles.
It isn't an octopus if it only has 4 tentacles.
Well, it's been deep fried. Clearly lost some tentacles during the process.
Wow. So this leaves...
Riccella tapped out. Probably not playing counter magic for the stasis snare or the deck and stone anyway.
Well, just draw the second stasis snare, and so we're good to go.
Yep.
That's how we drew it up. Did the Tarmogoyf dice get broken out for this 5/6? Sloppiness.
Yeah, it's looking that way. That should not be a 6/7.
It's only a 5/6,
Yeah.
but that's fine. Whatever.
Or wait, are we sure it doesn't get +3/+3?
It's 2/2. It becomes a 4/5.
Okay.
He becomes a normal Goyf.
Yeah, like a Jund midrange level Goyf.
Yeah.
Not a Jund shadow level Goyf.
With +1/+1 from the Gideon.
Right.
He becomes one of my Goyfs, not one of your Goyfs.
I don't play that version currently.
Wow.
Currently, honestly,
A week ago. a week ago.
Honestly, I just want to play 80-card Death Shadow and just put all the good stuff in there. Death Shadows, Tarmogoyfs, Tassigurs, Gurmag Anglers, all of the blue cantrips, Traverse, Mishra's Baubles, just the whole thing. Because there's so many good... Oh, and 4 Lilianas of the Veil. Because there's just so many good things that you can be doing because the Death Shadow shell is so compact. Right? I just want all the things, but I can't have them. Because that would be ridiculous.
Well, you know, only if you commit to it with Battle of Wits.
Here we go. Another deep fried.
Another Deep Fiend.
Probably shouldn't choose to tap the Stasis Snares unless he's playing Nahiri.
I also would not tap the... Well, Nahiri doesn't have to tap enchantments. The enchantments you can get for free.
Yeah, because then you would never get to exile an enchantment.
Yeah, but the artifacts you have to have tapped.
Right.
Kind of dumb.
There's another Sanctum of Ugin sacrificing to go grab another octopus from the deep.
Yeah, so Cole could really throw a wrench in Riccella's plans by just jamming an Oath of Gideon and just creating blockers.
I don't think there are any Magic cards that have wrench in the name.
Wrench Mind, first of all.
Oh, got me.
And Oath of Gideon would be a wrench in the plan because it just blocks.
It's not. It does. It's called Oath, not wrench.
Okay.
It would be an oath in the plan.
The Oath of the Wrench.
We're done here. Moving on.
You forced me to do this. Okay, so we're going to see a Declaration Stone on this Elder Deep Fiend. And Cole is getting kind of time-walked a lot, but he's still...
He's putting up a fight, for sure.
Yeah, and I think...
Making a game of it.
I think eventually he's going to kind of see his way out of the woods here.
Well, you know what's doing some work? That Fevered Visions that we thought was not correct for the matchup. Doing some work. Of course, picks up a cast out. So,
it's doing work.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of work we think it's going to do, but...
You know, I think Declaration Stone is a bit of a flavor fail. You know, I mean, when you're turning something into stone, shouldn't it turn it into a wall? You know, loses all power, retains its toughness, becomes a defender.
No, because if it's becoming stone via Nahiri's
oh, that's right.
ability, it is a clue to what Nahiri's up to.
Yeah, which is exiling artifacts.
Yeah, well,
right.
She's exiling creatures. I think the artists are turning the Markov Manor into stone.
Yeah, here comes another Fevered Visions.
So they're going to start firing. Man, that does put a clock on Cole.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, eventually we're going to run out of octopi.
We're going to run out of octopi, and Cole's going to have cast-outs for these Fevered Visions.
Or for the next octopi.
Yeah.
Octopus.
So let's tap down some lands, and let's see Cole jam a cast-out on one of these Fevered Visions. The Elder Deep Fiend will not be in play yet because it's a cast trigger for the tap, so he can't...
He can just float mana.
Oh, he could float mana, sure, yeah, okay. Alright, you're better at Magic than I am. Oh, but we didn't actually see that.
No, he's all in on casting out this this octopus.
Well, like you said, he could have floated...
Or declaring it in stone.
Yeah.
Providing another clue as to Nahiri's shenanigans.
Yeah, but Cole needs to maximize his use of mana because first of all, he needs to get cards out of his hand. Second of all, the Fevered Visions are just gonna... He's gonna 3-turn clock if they start triggering.
Yeah, right. He's gonna start taking 4 here from those visions.
Yeah.
You know, but at this point, I don't think he's going to see another octopus, and we'll be able to spend a lot more of his mana next turn.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of mana untapped because he's just been getting time walked every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So Riccella probably could have actually... No, that's fine. I was wondering if he missed a Kozilek's return out of the yard, but
It wouldn't have done anything.
The Advocate's a
at the time.
5/6. The Advocate's a 5/6. Yeah. And Nahiri's Machinations, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Discard a card, deal damage equal to its converted mana cost to
a creature. Yep. And he discarded the 5-drop Scob to kill the Advocate.
Oh yeah, with the 2 damage
Yeah.
on the okay. So
unless Cole, is able to deploy multiple spells here, and he does have quite a bit of mana to do so, then these Fevered Visions are going to get him.
I think.
Yeah, so here comes the Advocate, and I think he's got a Gideon as well.
Okay, so he's got 3 cards in hand right now, and he's got to get down to 1 to not get hit by the.
True, yeah.
Oh, I guess to not get hit at all. I guess the first one won't hit him, but the second Fever Vision's trigger will hit him if he has only 2 cards in hand.
Trigger checks for its damage on resolution.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1 single body of text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But even though Cole has access to all this mana, he's still a little choked. Chooses to cast out the visions.
Yeah.
Is still going to get pinged this turn. Maybe. Changing his tab. A little takesy backsies here.
Yeah, well,
friendly Ariel.
Ricella's a nice guy. And so the Oath is actually going to replace itself, and so we're still not getting lower on our hand size count in regards to the single Fevered Visions left behind. Oh, maybe we will.
Yep.
Okay, so we got down to 2 cards in hand.
Mission accomplished. We are no longer suffering from the fever.
Okay, well, let's make sure that Cole does draw his card for the single Fevered Visions left behind.
Well, Riccella was doing this before the end step to make sure that his prize amalgam came back this turn instead of next.
Okay, I see, okay. My mistake. I just assumed that was an in-step thing, but
no, you have to have already triggered the amalgam
for the amount. Yeah, no, I know how. Yeah, I got it. My mistake. Jeez, Jason, I know how the cards work.
Arguable.
True, arguable indeed.
Sacks a clue.
Sacks a clue, rips a tormenting voice. So this is the part where Blue-Red Emerge just doesn't excite me because we're getting our opponent pretty low, and
he's got flyers now. He's got a flyer, I should say. He's got access to another one in his graveyard.
Yeah,
and so long as he can hold out here on the ground, he's going to win in the air.
So Cole also has a flyer in the Selfless Spirit.
Lies and slander.
So they're going to block and trade. And the Stitchwing Scab will come back, but Ricella's also going to have to keep his hand full and be able to discard cards. And so managing that kind of resource, managing the cards in hand is going to be... Yeah, just trade, Cole.
Makes the correct choice and blocks.
Possibly not the correct choice, but the one that I would have made. So it's probably definitely the wrong one.
Definitely the wrong one, then. Player's a little bit under the gun here.
Yeah, there was a lot of hesitation in terms of Elder Deep Fiend upkeep triggers.
Yeah, I mean, particularly with this game, there's been a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, just get that amalgam out of here.
And, Ricella's no longer blocking on the ground here. That Sylvan Advocate could possibly be coming in for lethal here.
Yeah.
Riccella having a good long look at what his options are here. I think
It's a lot of cards that don't do anything.
He can activate that. No, he can't. He doesn't have the mana to activate the Fumarole.
He's 1 short on activating the Fumarole.
Yeah, this might just be the winning play here from Cole. What does Riccella have?
He's cracking a clue.
Cracking a clue. What else could he possibly have?
Yeah,
That
it's
is Nahiri's Wrath, which is not an instant, right?
not an instant. Yeah, and it costs 3 mana, and he has 2 up anyway. So Riccella extends the hand.
And there we go.
All right, folks. This was another rousing night of standard action here at GameSwap Mason.
You mean rousing, not arousing.
It depends on how you feel about my mustache.
Definitely not arousing.
All right. So I said rousing, first of all. And second of all, thanks for hanging out with us, and hope you enjoyed our stream. Top Deck Productions does a stream on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesdays and Fridays are often, well, Tuesdays are modern. Fridays are often modern.
Sometimes standard.
Sometimes standard. And we hope you tune in on there, and don't forget to add us or follow us.
Follow us on Twitch, yeah, absolutely.
Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on the Twitter and the Facebook as well. And so we hope to see you back next week, and Tuesdays and Fridays as well.
Thanks for hanging out, folks. It's been real, and it's been fun. Have a good one.